Shalom. Bear with us one sec. Post. Alright, shalom. This is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Shalom. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabarakatha. Shema Elatha Hashem Yahweh Shah to all my sisters. This is the ISUPK out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. And what we do is we teach the black, Hispanic, and Native people who they are according to the words of God. Not our words, these are his words. We're teaching that they are the Most High's true and only chosen people, which comes with a certain amount of responsibilities which are dictated by the laws of the Most High written in this book. Now, with that being said, there's a system in order to turn black women and black men against each other. It is vile, it is disgusting, and I'm going to try to destroy that mentality off of somebody today. You know what I'm saying? That is what I plan on doing. But I'm going to give this time to ask some questions. If you have any questions, type them in. I'm going to give you all a couple of minutes to type in some questions. Any questions, type them in. I'll be able to see it, and then we'll get right on into it, all right? Salakia Baba Kashar, sir. As we get this popping, can you grab up Deuteronomy 28, verse 56 or 55? Hold on, let me find it. Yeah, 56, 28 and 56.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which should not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground, for delicateness and tenderness.
Our women are so tender she would not even set her foot upon the ground. Once upon a time, you would not see our women out in the streets yelling, protesting, barking, doing all this stuff, trying to assert authority over her man. She was tender. She was delicate. She was something worthy of praise. She was a beautiful thing. But now she's a sea monster. How did she become a sea monster? Because of our enemies. Our enemies have influenced her and dangled such trinkets over her head, and it got her feeling like she's superior. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures say a gift destroyeth the heart. And we're going to get into some of those gifts later on that was given to the black woman so she could feel superior over a man through this feminist movement. You know what I'm saying? Through this feminist movement who got our women, putting our women in danger every day. For example, you know where that happened? Somewhere in the Arab countries, right? They were having this International Women's Day March, because this actually happens worldwide. And
Salaki, what's the one where Salaki, interrupted. What's the one where they go around walking around with topless?
That's I believe that. Are you talking about the slut walk?
Is it?
That happens in September due to what's her name? That bald-headed white girl that tries to be black.
Okay. Now I just wanted to see if
I forgot her name.
If the two tied in together.
Kanye used to date her. She might actually be Jake. I don't know who her daddy is.
Amber Rose?
Yeah, Amber Rose. They walk around topless and all that. But they do it a couple of times a year. Who knows what these people are thinking? But now, International Women's Day is actually meant to commemorate the political and social achievements of women. Now that I brought that up, I want black women to ask themselves, what society do you live in? What culture do you have? What politics do you have? So any successes you have as a woman, who benefits from it? Who benefits from those successes? It sure ain't your people. You know what I'm saying? Who benefited from the successes of Condoleezza Rice? Who made strategic efforts to keep black men in jail? She had an opportunity to do something to help her people and she squandered it. What about Michelle Obama? What successes did she have that benefited her people? Where she helped some fat white kids get healthy? Black kids are already healthy. They could be as chunky as can be, but they still running around in the hood.
God.
Heart of a bull. So what successes as a black woman could she do in this society and in these politics that could benefit black people? There's none. There's none. You out there marching, doing all these marches and stuff for gender equality, but let me tell you something. Your fight wasn't their fight. Black women, put like this, white women needed your help because their men was abusing the crap out of them, beating the life out of them. They come back from work back in the 1800s from the fields. They worked so hard to whip some slaves, and now they tired. Now they come home and they start whooping on their woman. Back then, black men wasn't beating their women. If there was a few cases, it was far few and in between.
Salaki, if I may. Salaki. The best way to put what you're saying, which is key to this topic, is that white women needed to recruit lionesses.
Yeah, somebody could bark.
You know what I mean? Because there's a nature in a black and Hispanic woman that our so-called oppressors missing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so they needed that strength in order to push this wicked movement that you're speaking about today.
Okay. You are absolutely right, sir. They are pushing the agenda and they need your help to get it through. You're not benefiting from this agenda. You don't benefit from International Women's Day. You don't benefit from any women's march. You don't benefit from any fight that the feminist movement is projecting. You don't benefit. Your family don't benefit. Your people don't benefit. You know what I'm saying? But Salaki, sir, can you continue with that?
Salaki. For delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom.
This is a curse that the Most High put upon us. That her eyes shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom. Somebody that she should be holding dear to her heart.
God.
There's an evilness that is teaching her and telling her to project all that frustration that this world is bringing upon her towards her husband. And you could thank our enemies for that. The Caucasian race, the Arabs, the Asians, they all benefited from this movement more than they are. Now, you've been marching and fighting for since 1809. How long this joint has been? No, International Women's Day been since 1909 was the first. It was National Women's Day, right? Now,
you said what year was it?
1909
1909
was the first Women's Day.
Huh.
It spawned from the women's suffrage movement, which black women were a part of. It was called National Women's Day back then. Now, black women, you've been marching and helping and cheering on white women forever. You know what I'm saying? Back then, one of the agendas was having women to vote. All right? You was marching and fighting for it back then, and guess what happened? Women got the right to vote. But you wasn't considered a woman. You wasn't considered a woman. So what happened? White women got in those booths, started voting. You got in that booth and got killed. You went in that voting booth and got dragged. You went in that voting booth and got tarred and feathered, set on fire. That voting wasn't for you, just like when we were allowed to vote, you know what I'm saying, way back in the 1800s. We would got the same thing because we still wasn't considered humans. We still wasn't considered men. So your fight is not their fight. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get further into that too. You know what I'm saying? Can you finish that verse off, Baba Kashar, sir?
And towards her son.
Continue.
And towards her daughter.
And towards her son and towards her daughter. Look what's going on in the world today. I mean, granted, what's that girl's name? Gabrielle Union is not that boy's biological mother, right? But she took that role. You know what I'm saying? She took that role. She married Dwayne Wade. And look at all the evilness that she has towards that little boy. It's not just her. Black women in general, they promote homosexuality even to their little boys.
What's her name? Shalaka. Alicia Keys is another one.
Yeah, Alicia Keys. That's actually a child that came out of her.
I'm wondering, Shalaka, where is what's his name in all this with Alicia Keys? What the hell is his name?
Who, Swiss?
Yeah. Where's he? Where does he come into this picture?
I don't know. I heard of the story. I haven't heard much about it all in general. Because Dwayne Wade's the biggest star, so they're going to focus on him. Haven't heard much about it. But I'm telling you, when your son, so-called, comes out the closet, the first one that's going to support it is the woman. If she don't, you might have a chance to get that boy right. But the woman will cheer him on She'll go to the club with him. You know what I'm saying? She'll be his wingman and everything else. That is a hateful spirit towards her child. She's fighting and ripping and running with her daughter, teaching her daughter how to be a whore. You know what I'm saying? Her daughter gets a little development going. Now she's in competition with her daughter. It's all disgusting. And it all spawns from what you fought for in your woman's movement. It all connects for what you fought for in your woman's movement. You know what I'm saying? But Salakia. Let's drop that. Let's get 1 Corinthians 14 and 34. Because there's something that you got to understand, man. Actually, hold on. Shall I start at 34? Salaka. Let's start with 33, Baba Kushal said. Something that you got to understand. The Most High did not deem for things to be out of order. See, they got you believing your fight in this woman's movement is for power and control. You know what I'm saying? When black men wasn't vile to you as a mass, you may have a few individuals, but as a whole collective, black men always been good to black women. As time goes on, it's getting worse, and that's due to the women's movement. That's due to integration. That's due to a lot of factors. While it's getting worse, but back then, early 20th century, it was not so. You know what I'm saying? But Salaki, sir, if you got that, Baba Kushal.
And if I may, Salaki, you know, the violent nature of our oppressor towards his own women dates back to the Caucasus Mountains, back to the caves. When he was a Neanderthal and he was banging women over the head with bones, jawbones.
They didn't even.
Yeah, go ahead,
Salaki. You're absolutely right. You know, earliest history of them, they didn't even have a court system. They just took it.
That's it.
There was no rape laws. There was nothing like that. They just seen a woman, take it. If it belonged to another man, y'all fight it out later. You know what I'm saying? They had a violent nature towards women. See, black women in general are precious to black men, and we have a natural instinct to protect them. But this women's movement skewed that image and that view of our protection into something vile as controlling. He's trying to control you. He don't love you. He's not trying to protect you. He don't want you to be who you are. He wants you to be this, that. He wants you to be his mama. They turned the way black men protected black women to something vile. And so they continued on with this march because they believed their enemy. They was charming, they were trying to charm the snake, and they got bit. Just that simple. But Salaki, sir, if you got that.
1 Corinthians 13 and 34. Let your woman keep silence in the churches.
No. 1 Corinthians 14? I'm going to get to that, though. I'm going to get to that.
13 and 34?
1 Corinthians 14 and 33, actually. I want to start at 33.
For the Most High is not the author of confusion.
The Most High is not the author of confusion. And what the women's movement is offering is confusion in 101 ways. And it's causing confusion, most importantly, in the black and Hispanic household. Let me tell you about one of the confusion it causes. In the women's movement, the confusion that is causing even amongst them, amongst women itself, the confusion that's being caused is that women are getting paid 77 cents off the man's dollar. That's a horrible thing. We got to close that gap. But what they ain't telling you, that's not women. That stat is not women. That stat specifically white women. White women are getting paid 77 cents on a dollar. So they got black women fighting for that, closing that gap. So what is white women? I mean, what does black women get? Well, let's go to it. Let's check that out, because you know I did a little research.
What's the source?
I did a little research, and let's say about since 2000, right? Black women, white women were getting paid 72.3 cents of every dollar a white man made, right? Today, since 2017, I'm pretty sure it's higher now, but since 2017, they started getting paid 77 cents. So their fight gave them an extra 7 cents. Extra 5 cents. Their fight gave them an extra 5 cents. That y'all black women helped them get. Congrats. Y'all succeeded. What about the black woman? Back in the year 2000, black women was making 60.8%. Let's round it up to 61 cents on every white man's dollar. Guess what they getting paid in 2017?
Like 55?
No.
Went up a little bit?
No.
Stayed the same.
It stayed the same. 17 years of y'all marching and praising them, nothing happened different for you. Nothing better. You still get paid 61 cents on the dollar. Guess what happened to those men that's supposed to protect and guide you, supposed to support you? You want black men to pay the bill so bad, and guess what happened? Yeah. You marching, you fought. Back in 2000, black men was actually getting paid more than white women. 73 cents on every white man's dollar. And guess what happened in the 17 years that y'all fought and marched and cheered on white women? Guess what happened? We actually dropped. Black men went from 73 to 69 cents. Guess what? At this rate, equality will happen for you, black women. That pay gap will be equal. It's just that black men will be dropping down closer to you, and white women will be closer to the white man. White women will get 99 cents on the dollar, while you will still be at that 60, and the black man will still be at that 62. The same man that you want to pay for everything. But due to you, back in 2000, we was having it better. But now we're getting paid even less. Thanks to your fight.
What source is that?
That's EPI. Let me get the source. That's EPI, which is Economic Policy Institute, which keeps tracks of a lot of things. They do their own surveys, they do everything. They're independent, they're not ran by no government, they're not ran by any offshoot this, offshoot that. They're doing their own research and surveys. So they're an independent source. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? The people who wrote this were two white women. Elise Gould and Janelle Jones. Well, Janelle might be black. I don't know. I don't see her picture. Is there a picture of her? Oh, she's a black woman. Janelle Jones is a black woman. She wrote that report along with a white woman, showing you that is confirmed. You know what I'm saying? Y'all marching for equal rights had done y'all nothing, or at least on the equal pay scale. And let me tell you something on every other scale on top of that. Let's say about abuse. Let's talk about abuse real quick. Has anything gotten better for black women when it comes for abuse? No. Not at all. Not at all. In fact, it's gotten worse. Black women are increasingly becoming more and more missing. You know what I'm saying? They are sexualized more. In fact, they took that sexualization of the black woman and turned it into an empowerment. When white women were talking about, don't sexualize me, don't objectify me, but black women, y'all objectification is actually female empowerment. Y'all hustling backwards. I'm gonna be honest with you. This women movement for black women is hustling backwards.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But Salakia.
and if I may,
Come.
keep in mind, our so-called oppressed women and the black women have always been at odds against each other, right?
Come.
They've never been on the, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I wouldn't say at odds with each other.
Well, here's what
They have been at odds with us.
Yeah, well, here's what I'm saying is this.
Mm-hmm.
On a competitive nature, right? You see, the black woman is trying to get to her stats, right?
Yeah.
But our oppressor's woman is trying to act like the black woman, just doesn't want to be like the black woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean by it. So while we're trying to attain to be like them, right? They're attaining to act like us, but they don't want to be us. You know what I mean?
No, they don't want that help.
So it's easier for them to recruit us into their problems because we want to be in their world.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? From the blonde hair to the blue contacts. You know what I mean?
Come.
All that plays a big effect in their support role for our so-called oppressed women.
Which is like starts again. It's causing confusion.
Con.
Now there's confusion amongst the women's movement because y'all not getting anything that y'all think y'all getting. Only they are getting it. And the confusion in your household because now they think they teaching you that you have power, and that you should be running the household because you make a certain amount of money. Let's get it clear. That statistic is on, let's say if they all had the same job. That's what that statistic is on. If they all had the same job, the woman would be getting the white woman would be getting 77%, the black man would be getting 68%, the black woman would be getting 60%. Now, here's where it gets tricky for you, black woman. Your fight for equal pay is non-existent. Let me tell you why. You will still be getting paid 60% on the dollar, but guess what? Y'all are quicker to get hired than black men. Black men don't get hired. We might get that 68% when we get the job. That's if we get it, but you're more likely to get it because you're cheaper. They'll give you that 60 cent on that dollar compared to us getting the 68. And they'll call that equal opportunity employment. You'll cover that quota. So now black men can't get jobs. Now y'all looking at us further like bums. Now more confusion is happening. Now you think you actually running the household because you got a job and you doing this and you doing that. That false empowerment that your oppressor has given you, that false view of power is causing confusion in the household. You know what I'm saying? Now the black man got to listen to you. Now you got the power to kick him out whenever you want to. Now the family's broken up because you listen to him. You listen to her, more likely.
And if I may, just to bring up one more point, the compassion that we have towards the sufferance of white women, you know what I'm saying, of our oppressed women, is the prime example of that is the Amber Geiger case with the judge. And that's something that I would include as to where that comes from and why we play a huge supporting role in white women's problems.
Yeah, that is a huge fact. That is, see, what you're bringing up is so heavy because the simple fact is, right? Let's take that Amber Geiger case, right? She goes into a black man's house. She claims she believed it was hers. She kills the black man. She goes to trial. She gets her hair patted. She gets hugged by the judge. She gets a slap on the wrist. Now, there's another case, not exactly similar, but it's a black woman right? Check out the hell she went through. The black woman gets kidnapped, turned to a sex slave. She kills her oppressor. Now she's up getting sentenced to life. And they didn't even happen once. This is not a one-time thing. This happened, the one lady just got freed from jail. There's another sister that's going through the courts right now about this. For killing the person that kidnapped her and turned her to a sex slave.
Yeah, okay, I remember that. Young Eve, right?
Yeah, young Eve, right? There was one young Eve that just recently got out of jail for that. Because, you know what I'm saying?
Did a bunch of time for that?
She did some years. Yeah,
okay.
She did some years. And this one's going through court for it. You know what I'm saying? So I forgot those sisters' names. But those sisters didn't get no, even though they were innocent, they didn't get their hair padded. They trying to throw the book at this one. They getting sick of black women killing white men.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that fight for women, violence on women is not even equal. It's confusion there too. Everything about this feminist movement, you are not getting black women. You are not getting, but Salaka said, can you continue with that verse?
But of peace, as in all churches of the saints.
The Most High is not the author of confusion, but of peace. There's supposed to be peace in that household. And there's only one way that peace can be achieved in that household. And that's with order and structure. Without order and structure, there's confusion. You know what I'm saying? And not even that. There could be certain order and structure, but if the order is out of order, it's not the way the Most High set up, there still ain't going to be peace. You know what I'm saying? May you continue, Bob Kashasa?
Verse 34, let your woman keep silence in the churches.
Let your woman keep silence in the churches, man. She shouldn't be out there. I don't know if y'all understand what a church is biblically, but that is a body of people coming together in the name of the Most High. Now, y'all claim, I mean, they have prayers and all that stuff over there, man. But your woman should not be talking in such situations. You got cats out there trying to put their woman on a podium with a microphone to teach what we do. Yo, that is out of order. That is part of the feminist movement. That is International Women's Day, and that is putting your woman's life on the line. What we do is not something a woman should be doing. If you loved and protected her, she would not do it. Because this is dangerous. This is dangerous, from the soft violence to the hardcore violence. Violence could break out at camp at any moment. And you got your woman up there with a mic. You see, our style of protection goes against feminism. If you're a feminist and you're about women's rights, you'll have your woman up there with the microphone teaching. You'll have your woman in the church teaching. You'll do all that. And guess what? She'll be in that church teaching, then all of a sudden, some white boy comes in, clapping his hands, singing along, goes in his backpack, and shoots up everybody.
That's right.
That's what, if your woman wasn't in there teaching, she'd be alive. If your woman followed what black men planned out, she'll still be alive. Because our style of protection is a whole lot different from the white man's. The white man will agree with everything his woman says, and his woman will end up kidnapped and dead. You know what I'm saying? But Salakia. May you continue with that, Baba Kashasa?
Let your woman keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak.
Know why it's not permitted unto them to speak? Because technically they don't know what they're talking about. They don't think like men think. That's why y'all out there marching. If you thought like a black man thought, you don't see black men marching with white men. Nowhere. Nowhere. Name a cause when there's black and white men marching together.
Unless it's the Rainbow Coalition.
Oh yeah, Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But they actually think they're one race now.
Yeah, it's the only way.
They're a whole different nationality.
And Christians.
Exactly, and Christians.
Martin Luther King, those guys.
But righteous black men have no dealings with their enemies. None. No dealings with their enemies. You know what I'm saying? But keep silent. Don't let your emotion just run your mouth. Because nothing but confusion comes out of that. You're in your house talking about, I run things. I'm getting paid. I'm wearing the pants. Look, it's just confusion. And it's going to destroy your household. A man can only take so much of that. He will leave the house, explain it to the kids when they're older why he left the house. You know what I'm saying? Slaka, sir, may you continue?
If I just may add on that scripture, basically, when it's saying a woman should keep silent in the church, it's talking about that woman teaching.
Come.
You know what I mean? It's not saying a woman can't teach, but when it comes
to these scriptures.
Yeah, when it comes to these authoritative scriptures, the authority belongs to the man.
Yeah, the authority belongs to the man.